my back's against the ropes, I can feel it. I'm the world's greatest.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Starr 103.5 FM. I'm still cutting my teeth with radio. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. And yes, this is simply the best in the city. If you're not listening to us this particular time, you're really missing out. This is where the true conversations happen. The really exciting conversations happen on your radio, and it's Starr 103.5 FM, and this should be your favorite station. StarrChat is an award-winning personality interview show, and so if you know anyone you think qualifies to be on this show, the person must, of course, be a personality that we know, and yes, we'll be happy to have your choice on the show. Let me just tell you that this show is live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takoradi, DSTV channel 885 and Go TV channel 197 around the world, live at starfm.com.gh. And this show is an association with Dove and Pepsodent. And like I tell you every evening, Dove believes that deodorants shouldn't just protect, they should care for your underarms too. After all, a lot of the things in life lead us throwing our arms in the air, which is why Dove, your favorite deodorant, is created with our quarter moisturizing cream to care for your underarm skin, leaving it soft and smooth. And who doesn't like soft and smooth underarm skin? I definitely do. And you should love it too if you really believe that you love yourself. So go ahead, lift your arms in confidence, lift them like you just don't care, because everyone should know that you've got Dove. Dove deodorant cares for your underarm like never before. Dove cares. Now, deodorant, I'm talking about deodorant. Pepsodent believes that setting up a routine of brushing properly with a fluoride toothpaste day and night works wonders in boosting your oral health. For this great routine to stick, brushing every day with your family does the trick. That is why your favorite oral care brand, and it's not just mere talk, Pepsodent is the #1 oral care brand in the world. Pepsodent has launched the Brush With Me campaign to remind parents of their joyful responsibility in taking care of their oral health of their families by brushing better and together. Take action today, because good oral hygiene starts with nobody but you. Visit the dentist regularly, brush properly day and night, and invite your family to brush with you. That's right. Brushing is better together, and twice a day is the way to go. So invite your family to brush with you. Hence the Brush With Me campaign. Now, so the show is about to start. It's perfectly possible for someone or somebody to make the transition from politics to journalism, or journalism to politics. And I'm borrowing the words of Brit Hume. My guest tonight has strut her stuff on both lanes with perfect knowledge on how each world works, the do's and don'ts, the gender realities, and how issues are dissected and dealt with by the power seeker and the power assessing eye. Born on the 31st of December in 2nd D and loving her early years at Maxwell Road, her nickname at school was the headmistress. As a girls' prefect, she was blunt, confident, and upfront. And of course, these attributes till date, she has them. Her profile in the media space is well documented, as she rose through the ranks from reporter to gracing the screens with memorable interviews by questioning the ones in authority and the people who depend on the decisions of leaders for their survival. She left the frontline media scene and moved into communication consultancy as a lead content creator at MediaMax Ghana Limited. She's well known for her switch from journalism to active politics as an integral part of NDC's unofficial communications team on social media. Change of lanes, but maximizing her skill of sending a message across. What's striking, however, is her absolute disdain for President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Is it a case of love for one party and it's an arrowhead and hatred for another party in the same arena of politics? Her rants on social media have been described acerbic to any form of vitriol aimed at her. She sometimes spits political venom without provocation. Should that be accepted form of political communication for our democratic discourse? How far is she to the left of center in political beliefs, and what's she looking for on that side of town? Who, in fact, stirred that switch in her? Has she got any regrets? Tonight, we will seek her thoughts on her life, her journey, her outlook on politics, religion, relationships, leadership, citizenship, patriotism, women, and decision-making. It's a no-holds-barred conversation with the lady who calls herself these days the Cement Slayer. Bridget Otoo, tonight, is my guest on your award-winning StarrChat show on Starr 103.5 FM. My name is Nana Abba Adamwa, and the show, as I told you earlier, is live on 103.5 FM, Starr, of course, and also Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi and Empire 102.7 FM in Takoradi. Hello, Bridget.
Nana Abba.
How are you?
I'm well, and you deserve an award for that introduction. You do.
I spend a lot of time on the intro.
Yeah, I think when I walked in, you mentioned that you were writing my intro. I was wondering what that would look like, and now I do know.
You understand. How have you been, Bridget?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Mostly I'm at the cement shop and reading,
Cement Slayer.
Yes.
How are the prices going?
So we've had 3 different increments, the last, 1 month. And
for all cement brands, or
yes,
just
so Gasem really takes the lead.
Okay.
And once Gasem goes, all the other brands follow. So we had general increments on all the brands. And then Gasem went ahead and decided to increase the super strong, which is like the 42.5, which they use for the concrete. And once they did that, I think they wanted to have like a clear price margin between the 32.5 and the 42.5, and clearly, so now when you come in, the price difference is the gap is really huge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And is that good or bad?
Oh, it's bad. I mean, it's difficult to explain to customers every week that prices have changed. Oh, I came in on Friday, it was 45, and Monday you're saying it's 47. I hope that it stabilizes, but we have a feeling it might go up again, and then December we might see another price hike. Yeah.
I'll come back later in the show to talk to you about cement and why you decided to go into.
Right.
I mean, of all the things, you could have sold lipstick, you could have sold bags. You love bags. Bridget loves designer bags, but you settled on cement. So I'll find out later. But yes, I want to pick your thoughts on things that have happened today.
Right.
Ikuapin Polo has been granted bail by a court in Accra. Your thoughts on that?
I'm excited. I'm happy that she gets to go to her son. It's one of the things that has been in the news for the last 1 week, 7 days, say. And so I'm happy. And I also thought the 80,000 cedi bail was reasonable, which 2 sureties. I thought it was really reasonable. And it's also, when I read the reasons why the bail was granted, I think they gave about 13 reasons. One of them was the fact that she had shown remorse. And I think one of them was the fact that she handed in her passport. She wasn't going to travel anywhere. And I'm happy that we all supported her. I hope. I think earlier, John DeMello had talked about this happening.
Appeal,
and people had taken him, to the cleaners. Like, what does he know? And I think somebody even said to him that, how can a farmer be telling a lawyer, what to do in court? And clearly, what he said, has come to pass. So I'm happy. I hope that we continue the conversation. I hope that she doesn't even get to serve.
Some, and in fact, you're one of those people who actually thought that she shouldn't have been jailed in the first place.
Right.
Why?
When I said that, I remember I heard a lot of pundits say, we don't know the law and that we are ignorant of the law. The people who change the law aren't lawyers. They've studied it and they are practicing it. Change would happen and it will come from outsiders. And one of the reasons is that when you not go to jail, other cases will come up. For instance, I think I read a case of a gentleman who stole a mobile phone and had to be in jail for 10 months. Now, who would talk about that issue? But if Ikuapin Polo's case comes up and she gets 90 days, now that issue is that because now everybody is talking about the fact that there are cases like that, but nobody is talking about it. But you see, here is a celebrity, somebody who is well known, is going through that, has been given a custodial sentence, and people are like, why don't we commute that? Why can't we have that happen? And I think one of the persons who raised this issue is Sandra Nkobia. And she thought, we can let her direct non-custodial. No, but she has been given custodial sentence, but non-custodial.
Yeah, Sandra was pushing for non-custodial.
And so I'm like, she could have directed traffic. So why have we delayed till now? Why are we having this? Also, because this person, Ekuampin Polo, who is well known. We're not saying she's better than anybody, but this is the moment where we can look at it and say, maybe it's about time.
Still, people would ask you, because you know of these cases. You know of cases where a little boy goes to steal a finger of plantain or banana in some community, and the boy goes in 5 years. Sometimes they're in there for 3 years and they're not even being prosecuted.
Nobody even knows them.
But these cases come up.
But that's why I'm saying that. So when you have a famous person like that, and everybody is talking about it,
so it sets the tone. You think it sets the tone?
Exactly. So I'm hoping that the court listens, sees these things. I mean, how are you giving 90 days? Yes, she posed with her child. You're saying she harmed the child.
Did you find anything wrong with that picture?
To be very honest, initially I thought it was a bit uncomfortable, but I thought, wow. But then I also felt all the essential parts were covered. But that was her mother. And then when you read the caption that accompanied the picture, you have a better understanding.
Did she have to tell the world how? I mean, she's at home with it. So everything she put there on social media, she could have told the child at home. Did she have? And the child is not on social media.
But she's a Ekuampin Polo, right?
Okay.
She buys honey. She sells honey. Is on social media.
Yeah, but she sells the honey to people on social.
So I'm trying to say whatever she does is on social media. She's a very public person.
Right.
She literally, somebody insults her, she comes on social media and even thanks them and says, I know, bloggers, you love me, and she has a way of reaching out to them. Kiss, kiss. It they pain you, all those things. Yeah. So she's just somebody who lives a very public life. So doing this really, it didn't shock me. I wasn't surprised. Okay. I don't know anybody who was. When Cardi B came, we saw her, she twerked upside down. So really and truly, there was nothing she did that surprised me. So even if you know that this is the kind of person, I mean, we saw Justice Smollett, Empire. He lied that 2 people in MAGA t-shirts, right, attacked him in a subway, put a nook around his, and this is something that is embedded in slavery. So people were angry. What did the Attorney General do? They literally dropped the case. Yes, people will get furious and all of it because of who he was. But is it
fair? Is it fair that some people should be treated differently just because they are in the limelight? Just because about 100,000 people know them?
Give them community service.
Why should they be given community service and not the ordinary person?
That's what I'm saying. This is a teachable moment for everybody. This is a moment for everybody. This is a moment for our judges to also be closer to us. I mean, I was so shocked.
You feel they're removed?
Completely. I mean, we watched the election petition, and they told Dr. Pesawai to be in suit, as a lecturer, so you look like serious and business-like. I mean, to them, not being in suit meant he was unserious. And all of us here, we keep saying that, why are they still in wig? And nobody has. Yesterday, when they read George Floyd, the verdict, the judge was not in wig. But we are still wearing this. Nobody has given us a very good answer as to why they still do. So we can learn. We can change. Change must happen.
It's part of the tradition. It comes with the tradition, doesn't it?
It comes from conversation. But yes, I mean, we inherit things. But at some point, you have to let go of some things. You have to do away with some of them.
Right. Okay. So now she's been granted bail. A lot of people are excited. I mean, I saw your comments on Twitter as well. You are very, very happy as well. Why did you drag Nam1 into this?
And I'm so glad he's back in the news. And last week, Bernie Madoff died. Anyway, Bernie Madoff was same. He ran the same scheme, Ponzi scheme. Thousands of people were affected. Same scheme that Nam1 did. And the reason why I mentioned is
you don't appear sad that the man is dead.
No, he had so many families. A lot of people died as a result of that. But at least he was in jail serving his time. He was in jail serving his time. And the reason I was just thinking about it and say, yes, Nam1 is in court. It's been so slow.
The wheels of justice grind
depending
slowly.
on who?
Depending on evidence.
Oh, yes. Major Mahama. Don't we know where he was murdered? Don't we know the people? What has happened? George Floyd's own happened just a year ago. The conviction has happened. So it depends on
There
who.
have been cases in America that have taken like 40 years.
So when people are interested in the case, somehow they get to the end of it. But when there is no interest, or lawyers are playing legal gymnastics, or just want to, they play delay tactics. And they've told me that. I mean, recently I was in court and I was not supposed to be in this court, and they waited a whole month to come and file. So they deliberately delay. So one's case looks like it's a deliberate thing.
Why? I mean, why would you?
Is the state interested in recovering? Are we interested in finding? I mean, all the people who have died, are we interested in them? Are we interested in families who have lost their job? When you watch the news and you see the old man who says, all my savings, my retirement has gone into that, are we interested in that?
But they were warned. They were warned on a number of occasions.
I know, and I'm very much aware. But what saddens me is that celebrities, he's bought everybody.
Did you ever invest in men's gold?
Oh, never. Why would I? I'll buy kelewele and eat it. Why would I waste my money? No. I mean, it's the first time I was approached by a men's gold employee, that I should buy gold, 200,000, blah, 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 and I'll get 10%. I was like, where are you guys getting the money from? Because the world price, if I'm looking at gold prices are going down, they're not going up. So why are you giving people more money? And then I called a senior colleague in the industry as well and said, this company, I said, it's fraud. It would bust in no time. And truly, that's what happened. And so many people fell victim. But somehow we want to celebrate a corn artist because he's paid music artists and movie stars. And so they're all quiet. But imagine if we all added our voice and put pressure on they would finish the civil case and prosecute him.
Actually, I lost count of the number of times people sent me money, and the one that broke my heart was a guy from Circle. He was pounding fufu at Circle, put all his investment in men's gold.
Oh gosh!
And then he lost everything. So he sent me a DM that he's lost his entire life, and he had become suicidal.
Oh my goodness!
And didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, come over to my office and let's have a conversation.
And I know some of our friends.
Yeah.
There are comedians who have lost money to this. And they are all quiet. Some are embarrassed. And I think he takes advantage of it. He knows the fact. I mean, so imagine if you and I lost money. You can either be quiet about it, or you would go public. But knowing who we are, we could have probably been quiet, because people would say, how could you, of all people? Because we are too curious. We ask questions. Right. We don't just take things because somebody is offering, this person got 10%. Why would they give me 10% too? And where are they getting the 10% from? Yesterday,
So you knew from the get-go that
it was a Ponzi scheme. And I remember engaging one comedian. He says, no, it's a different type. Then he will call the man and say, Bridget says it's a Ponzi scheme. Oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. That's exactly what they say. But if it smells like, I don't want to use the word. So let me
if it writes like a snake.
Yeah, maybe it is a snake. Yeah. So if it doesn't have a name, but it looks like Ponzi scheme, it is Ponzi scheme. So it's the reason I brought his name in. And he trended for days, and he responded indirectly and said his case is in court. We shouldn't mislead the public. No, I want the state to be quick about it, finish the civil case, and prosecute him. So Finance Minister has said he committed a crime. It was a scam. I mean, there's no way. It was a scam. So if you're a beneficiary of that scam and you're happy about it because you're a musician or you're an actor, and you think because you are not, you were not the one who perpetrated the crime, you are guilty.
What were you expecting them to do? I mean, they're doing this. It's their job. They sing, they act, and then somebody approaches you. Let's do this work together. Let me make you an ambassador.
So let me tell you what you and I would have done. We would have come out to say, look, when I met number one, I didn't know this was a scheme he was perpetuating. Yes, I signed, he paid me XYZ, but at this moment, I'm distancing myself from them. We've seen it happen.
So you think all of those celebrities should have apologized?
Distance themselves from number one. And once they do that, look, not only will they win us over, then we would understand and appreciate that they really are smart. Right now, they're acting like, yeah, nothing happened. And that is why he's able to get away with it. It's like just a few people care about this.
You get incensed that the man still tweets.
I am angry that he's even walking about freely. I am so upset. I'm even upset that we even allowed such a person to even scam anybody in the first place. I wouldn't even give him a seat anyway.
What?
I'm serious, Nanaba. How did he How? Is it because he quotes Bible? Because have you ever
Ghana will prosper.
Seriously, if he's not quoting from the Bible, engage him one-on-one and see if he can express himself. No, I'm not talking about English. No, I'm not talking about English. That's not it. But engage him one-on-one and even engage him on his own business.
Well, he was smart enough to do this. You've got to give him that.
I have to.
That is if he believes what he did.
Maybe people were stupid enough to believe him. That's what it is.
Oh.
No, I'm just sad. I can't believe it. We could do so much better, and I hope that it doesn't just end there. And I mean, certain musicians, and then they'll come out and say, "Oh, we know what do you know about what he's doing?" The man has scammed people. Apologize to the people and say, "I am sorry. I didn't know he was a scammer, but now I do. I know better. I'm distancing myself from him." Now, no. When he tweets, then they bring their prayer emoji. I don't know why people are able to convey. If in Ghana, it's like if you want to scam people, just use God. That is like the easiest way to scam people. I could just start right now and start doing tongues. Hey, Shaktamonto. People say, hey, Bridget, hey, why yes of mommy? That's it. I will set up a church right now and people will start coming. And you say anything. And yet this morning, a woman's place has been set ablaze because they suspect her to be witch. And those are stories that break my heart. It's the reason I speak up. Because when I see people like Nam1 thriving on scam, it's infuriating, to say the least.
Right. Let me move you away from Nam1 because
and so I hope he goes back to court.
I can actually see the veins in your pupils. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you mentioned Nam1.
They're visible enough. I hope this one will calm you down. The next one definitely should calm you down.
Which one?
Dumso.
Oh.
Is it Dumso?
Oh,
I mean, we are told it's not Dumso.
It's a different kind of Dumso.
What kind is
It's a well-branded disco.
Well branded.
It's disco. When we are in the disco and the lights is dimmed, we don't complain. So it's that kind of Dumso. So 6 to 6, but it's not really Dumso. It's not Dumso because it's not John Mahama who's doing that.
You think that people were harsh when it was happening and
harsh is an understatement.
Yeah.
They were vitriolic. They were people had no.
People lost their business. I mean, you've been upset. You've been upset by the activities of Nam1 and Men's Sport and how people have lost their lives and their jobs. When it was happening under President Mahama, people lost their lives. People lost their jobs.
Businesses. Absolutely.
Exactly.
And do you know what was beautiful about that? He took responsibility and fixed it. And that's what leadership is about. That's the difference between John Mahama and Nana Addo. John Mahama will take responsibility and fix it. Nana Addo, he's not aware, uninformed, misled, and that's it. He never ever takes responsibility, but that's leadership is about taking responsibility. Yes, we are in Dumso. I've taken you to Dumso. You've lost your businesses. I'm sorry. And Mahama has been on several platforms and said, yes, there are so many things that he will do differently. That's leadership. It takes an honest leader. And I think we also don't like people who are honest and people who blur their heart out. We would rather have logical, let's have the experts speak. But the people on the streets are the ones who are feeling it. They may not have the qualification that the experts have, but they are the people that you listen to. They are the people whose businesses we're talking about here, whose lives are affected by Dumso, who don't get the benefits, if any benefits is even initiated.
But they've told us many times, it is not Dumso.
We're fixing the lines.
Exactly.
Technical challenges.
Yes, and they need to maintain. They need to service.
But isn't it shameful? Isn't it shameful that as a country, 64 years, that we would have to be in Dumso to maintain our lines? I mean, can you imagine this happening in New York?
Well, if we had invested.
I mean,
all of these years,
but the fact that we have to
be here.
But the fact that we have to be in Dumso to fix the lines, I mean, it's blatant lie. I just want to remember. I'm trying to quote what I've said.
So you think people are not upset right now with?
Oh, I think people are upset. I think the president has lost goodwill with people, and it showed in the last elections. I mean, if they had any goodwill, they've lost it. People are upset. What is happening is that people are afraid to speak up. I mean, do you know the number of people?
You speak all the time on Twitter, Bridget.
I'm always hiding.
The president's handle tweets.
I'm always hiding.
And then you're sometimes the first person to respond.
And I'm always hiding. Because
and
people call you and say, thank you for speaking out. I can't speak out because I'm afraid.
Well,
to be
nothing has
attacked.
happened to you.
Now they have a new name: social media landguards.
Oh, I thought they were
They just-
attack dogs.
Attack dogs. They are attack dogs. Social media landguards. They are trolls. They are just.
But
paid.
the NDC has those as well.
Oh. This
I
one,
think even CPP does, except CPP is hardly in the
relax.
news.
This one, they put them in uniform. They are on government payroll. Over 10,000 of them, they are on Twitter, who are paid. Anything anti-Nanado, attack. But allow us, you did worse in opposition. And it's not just about talking for talking's sake. Talking because you're frustrated. Talking because you care about this country. Talking because you want things to be better. Talking because you just are frustrated. And allow me to express myself. That's it. And if the president talked about he talks about being a champion for democracy, freedom of expression, and Manasseh Azuri cannot stay in this country.
Which is true.
True, really.
Yeah, which is true. For the longest time, we knew him for that.
Until he became a president. And
Well,
then he couldn't stand criticism.
But what has he done?
So-
What has he done? What can you pin to Nanado?
Oh, I have so many. One, let me start with our own colleague, Manasseh Azuri. He was very instrumental in the defeat of the NDC in 2016. I mean, Jida, he was hailed by the NPP as the star. His report was everywhere. Multimedia was the star. I mean, every evening you would want to know what's the next thing that he's uncovering. And this journalist was frustrated and hounded out of multimedia, literally. He's on Ghana Report and he tells us that at a point he needed security because they won't let him work. He had to flee from this country.
How's that connected to the president?
Who would do that? Do you honestly? The president is responsible for everything. Nanaba. What? Okay, if he is not, relax. If he is not, then he should speak against it. If he's not, he did a story. He did a story where his appointee was in it, grabbing money. And recently, what did the president say? I am not going to prosecute my appointees on the whims of a rumor or on the basis of a rumor.
Hearsay.
Hearsay, yes, good. Was that video hearsay? The Galamsey video? No, it wasn't hearsay.
It was a trap.
It was a trap. They came and said, I beg you, please take this money. No. If you're decent, Nanaba, if you're decent and somebody approaches you with that, you will turn it down. But if you're corrupt, none of it matters. I mean, but the president was also caught in a video grabbing it with two hands. So maybe, like father, like children.
Right. So.
So like father, so his appointees, they're just bearing fruits from him. That's it.
But you know that Nanado is actually not one that you would call corrupt. He's incorruptible. No, that's a fact.
So let's assume it's not a fact. Okay, how is that? Okay, so let's Transparency International, right? Yeah, let's forget about everything else. Transparency International is a yardstick, and in their report, right?
They haven't mentioned Nanado.
This government, right? Nanado's best corruption results is worse than Mohammed's best. Nanado's best is worse than Mohammed's worst. Mohammed's best, sorry.
Right, I get you. And
it's coming from
isn't
him.
it institutional? I mean, we have such weak institutions, don't we? We have.
So what are you supposed to do as a leader? What are you supposed to do as a leader?
You try to fix it, no?
How? You would fix it if you had no hand in it. But where you are comfortably.
But corruption is pervasive. It's been with us for so long. It's been.
But Nanaba, you see, it is this kind of narrative is the reason why it's still in the system and it thrives.
That's true.
Because we keep saying I think of what
Imagine
said Adam,
if your darling favorite president, John Dramani Mahama, had completely strengthened all the institutions. When he was president, even when he was vice president, then became president, if the institutions had been strengthened enough to deal with corruption head on, do you think anybody would circumvent any institution, anybody's work? Would anybody do that?
He didn't.
So
he didn't fire Dumelo. Did he?
The system has been weak for so long.
So
we're looking for an opportunity for somebody to fix the system for us.
Great. So one of the institutions is the Auditor General, right?
Right.
It's a powerful, important institution and has been. When the auditor report comes out, everybody is excited. They want to know what's going on.
Right.
Right? And it's been like that since time immemorial. And the last time the report came out, back in 2015, 2016, with the issue of Jada and the like, the president did not sack Domilevo. But what has this president done? They hunted him out of office, embarrassed him, dragged him out. That's somebody who...
How was he embarrassed?
Nanaba.
Yes.
His office was locked. Is that an embarrassment?
Well,
I mean, seriously, you're a professional. You have done nothing. All you have ever done is to do your work and put a report together for it to be implemented or to be looked at. If where monies have gone where they are not supposed to be retrieved. And that's all you ever did. And the office of the president itself, the president also set up the special prosecutor. I'm glad we are talking about this. 2 people trusted by Ghanaians. Look, put Nanado there, put Martin Amidu, and put Domilevo. Ghanaians will choose the 2 of them over. And
well, we don't know that for a fact. We don't know that.
Actually, we do know that because the polls, they tell us. Look, Martin Amidu, in his last write-up, you see, the very thing that NPP admired about him, they hated about him because he was doing it to them. He wasn't doing it deliberately because it is who he is. He looks for where the cracks are and tries to fix it. But they didn't like it because they thought he was coming in to hunt and torment NDC appointees. But you appointed him to do a job, and it includes doing it with the NDC and the NPP. But somehow, when it involved the president, they chased him out. And he specifically called the president the mother serpent of corruption. Do you think Martin Amidu is not a loose talker? Martin Amidu is someone who is respected, revered, and I'm in awe of his passion. He and Domilevo. And no matter how much we try to embarrass them, they did their work. And those are the people we should celebrate. And I hope this country never forgets what this government has done to these 2 innocent gentlemen.
So you're not impressed with Nanado's fight against corruption, basically?
Can I quote the CDD first when he said his reputation is in tatters? I mean, I didn't say that. These are the experts. These are the people who worked with Nanado. This is what they are saying about him. And we can see it because we are, even us, at the very bottom, because you're talking about CDD, you're talking about Imani.
So civil society.
Civil society organizations. And they're saying this about our president, who was supposed to be the incorruptible, maybe he came in, saw the money and thought, hala.
Well, there's no evidence, Bridget. There is no evidence. I mean, no one. Yes, there is no evidence that
when you say no evidence, what do you
has
mean?
milked. I mean, you say that he comes in, he saw the money, he go, voila.
But there was one that he saw, he grabbed it like, he grabbed with 2 hands and said, hey, let you $40,000. The person who shot the video.
Bridget, you are painfully silly. Honestly.
No. But for a president, it's actually embarrassing. That kind of money, you let your boys take it. You don't take it yourself. No. Of all the things they say about Muhammad
which video are you? Well, he was also accused of a number of things. You remember the car gift?
Yes, which was nicely investigated by Manasseh Azuri.
Yeah.
Did you see Manasseh being chased out of this country?
No.
Did he?
No.
Did you ever hear him say he wanted bodyguards? In fact, he did say that when President Mahama saw him, he shook his hands. That's the difference between John Mahama and Nanado.
Well, he hasn't run into President Akufo-Addo. I'm sure Nanado would. Nanado will walk to him and say hello.
No, his bodyguards will beat him before that. It's happened. They've set precedents. No, seriously. Yeah. And I just don't want anybody, it doesn't matter where you find yourself. If you have a platform, please don't stop talking. Forget about the threats. Yes, I know they're making threats.
Have you been threatened?
Oh, severally. I've been threatened by his appointees. I remember when the 2020 elections ended. I had a text message. Let me see if I can find it on my phone.
Okay.
From one of his appointees, one of the CEOs of the top organizations in this country. Mm-hmm. And he just sent me a message to say, like, when did I get into politics? And do I know I am his enemy now? But what the heck? What is he saying? So even if I campaigned for the NDC, all right, why should I be your enemy? How have I become your enemy? In fact, you could have just said that we are on different side of the political spectrum, and that's fine with me. I accord him with a lot of respect. I have never called him and said, oh, why did you say this or you didn't do that? Maybe perhaps I'm a younger person.
If you if you run into President Kufuor tomorrow, let's say a state function and you're there, and Nana-Addo is going around to shake hands, and he does that a lot. Well, all the presidents do at some point. They just shake hands with a few people. What would you say to him?
What would I say to him?
Would you shake him?
I would
give him a handshake?
yes, I would, and tell him,
Tell me more.
sit up. Sit up. I mean, he's what, 70? How old is he now? 76?
Yeah.
What, 70, 76? He should leave a better legacy.
He's leaving a legacy. He's leaving a legacy.
He's leaving a tattered, corrupt legacy.
Free education, that's a legacy?
Oh, free education is a fantastic legacy, not just Nana-Addo. It's a legacy for Ghana. He didn't implement free SHS. He implemented...
free SHS. That's what they call free SHS.
Right.
I can't forget that, yeah.
So it's a legacy for Ghana. And the free SHS will never be cancelled by any government.
Yeah.
Unless at a point where we...
But he initiated free SHS.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No. But this was something that President Mahama talked about in 2015.
Across the board.
Across the board.
He
made it free
across the board,
because they were doing it for first years, and so yes, so he gets the
across
credit.
the
But
board.
why can't we give credit where it's due? I mean, he's going around renaming buildings that
Okay, so that's one of his legacies, free SHS,
Right.
and do you think that's the only good thing he's done?
What else?
No, I'm asking you.
Look, Nanaba, if you look at the amount of money they have borrowed, if you look, I'm looking at a report today, community development, what's it called? Is it accountability? CDA. There's a 67-page report out. I'm only on page 4. It was on Joy FM, and the summary of it broke my heart. That we spent 42 million in the report. We spent 42 million on the food that we gave during the COVID. But this was the initial figure was 54 million, and finance minister went into parliament and said no, it's actually 12 million. But this report is putting it at 42. On top of that, the COVID-19 tracker, they fingered the NCA, the Ministry of Communication, that they actually paid $1 million to 2 companies who didn't go through any tender. And I expected a better response from the communication minister, whom I actually admire, Esther Owusu. Instead, she says it's false and they would use it as toilet paper. I mean, if somebody accused me of stealing, that won't be my response. I won't just challenge, I'll probably sue. But if you say that
you got her plans, you can't.
No, when you say you're going to use it as a toilet, you're saying it's trash.
Yeah, because she feels it's trash. Because and if it's trash, she should say it's trash, isn't it?
Yes, but Nanaba, this is not being reported by Ajua.com or Anansi.com. You're talking about myjoyonline.com, multimedia. They have taken the report, broken it down so that we can understand, and we're reading and seeing the figures. And it's disheartening to see the waste. And the response is that I would use it as a toilet paper. But we are listening to it. We trust Joy. And so we would listen to them. We know, oh, it's true. They have no defense. And that's why they're saying they will use it as toilet paper. That is trash. But we won't consider the report from there. And I know this because one of the... I did some partnership with multimedia. And I remember asking them to take a story down. And they couldn't because they said they have a policy. They research, verify before they put any information out because they don't want to be deleting stories on their site. So before they put that report out, they may have done their checks. So if your response as a ministry is that, oh, we're not going to, it's a trash, then probably there's there's meat to it.
Where did you hear this response from the lady?
She spoke to Francis Daze on Joy Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you just feel that the you just feel that this president has lost it.
Oh, completely.
He's lost trust, faith,
completely.
goodwill, everything.
And it will show in the 2024 elections too.
Well, he's not running.
But he better leave a better legacy. I mean, we've seen the...
As far as he's concerned, he's leaving a better legacy compared to any other. As far as he's concerned, as far as his appointees are concerned, they're doing the job that others failed to do.
What job is that?
Well, you should ask him the next time you run into him. I mean, you're constantly tweeting at him, so you should probably ask him there. All right, let me ask you about John Mahama now. Why John Mahama? At what point? I mean, you've been my friend for so long.
Yeah.
At what point did you decide that I was going all out for the NDC and John Mahama?
Right. So when I was at TV3, I got to report on both. And when I was reporting on both, I realized that there was a certain scorn with the NDC stories. It was very subtle at the station. I was surprised. So it got me interested. And I thought, but the candidate himself is affable. He's likable. He communicates, so he's not arrogant. He's a people's person. And that was where my interest began. Because then I wanted to know more about who this John Mahama is. And I got the privilege of actually doing, I think, a 15 minutes or 20 minutes documentary on, we had to profile all the presidential candidates, and I did his. So, and I got to read his book as well. And you should read. This is my first coup.
I have.
You have. Great.
Good read.
Great. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So my first coup d'etat. So all of these things, it gives you a life into the man. Now, just around that time, I was approached by somebody in NPP to join their communications team. And I told them I was not interested. I'm not doing any politics whatsoever.
You hadn't quit then?
No, I hadn't. I was still
Okay.
at TV3.
Okay.
And I said I wasn't interested. But since that time, they mentioned two people, and I wouldn't want to mention their name here because, I mean, it's an issue that's in the past. When I posted something, they would come in and start insulting me. So I found out those two had paid them from NPP.
Were
to
they
do that.
in the company?
No.
Okay.
As in outside.
Outside,
or online.
okay.
So they said they were going to hunt me down because if I refused them, it meant that I had taken money from NDC. Nanaba, since 2015 till the one CD, NDC, who? There was something you said to me recently that, I mean, we're not afraid of people, no. But there are certain things we won't do because of our conscience.
Of course.
And so I want to be able to speak freely. My views may not necessarily align with NDC, on all things, though. There are decisions they will take I may disagree, but I will be free to say it because I know I'm not tied to them. They haven't paid me to say what I say. I say it because I want to. So when those attacks got very violent, virtual, I said, then let me annoy them. So it started as a joke that I would just be saying things about the NDC to annoy them. And it's true, the more I said something nice, the tougher it got, the more vitriol the responses got. So I just took a decision and said, you know what, I'm just going to support John Mahama. I didn't talk to anybody, I just said I'm going to.
And
also,
they
I
love
also
you
thought,
for it. The NDC loves you for it.
And when I did that, I was like, oh my God, everybody around me, all my friends were NPP. So I was like an outcast.
Did they abandon you?
How can you abandon me? My name is Bridget Otoo. I know.
The
I'll
most
rank
annoying
myself.
character ever. Yes.
No, so I started, talking more about it, and also I also felt, even though the man himself has a fantastic relationship, speaks well and all that, the press were not very kind to him. Maybe because
I agree.
Maybe because he didn't hound them as much as they are hounding them now. Maybe that's what it is.
I haven't been hounded.
Oh, you are very, very fair. You are in the middle there. You see? So, but when you tweet something they don't like, look at how you see, they forget all
they
the
call
nice
me a
things.
shower. I mean, I say to them,
It's
the
the
NPP
weakest.
supporters on Twitter, I mean, be creative. I mean,
It's
get better insults. I mean,
like,
Ashawo is so old school.
I don't know.
It's
There's
such a
nothing they've said at me I
old
haven't
insult.
heard.
Yeah.
But when you say stuff, right?
But the
You're
NDC does
very-
it to me as well. The NDC supporters on Twitter
do that to you as
They
well.
do that to me. They also
But
come
it should-
all
it should-
out
it should
and
stop.
attack me as well.
It should stop because
Yeah.
people should be able to express themselves. You like mangoes, I like apples. Do you like what's it called? This water, I like that water.
Right.
We must be able to exist.
Do you think President Mahama should contest in 2024?
I am going to start a hashtag, bring back John Mahama.
Why?
Why not? Currently, who better?
There's
Who better? I think
nobody
he
in the
did-
NDC?
And then we haven't groomed anybody. I hope that the person would really shine from now till 2024. But at this very moment, with his experience, and I think he also wants to sort of redeem himself. Okay. I think so. I really think so. And
he was nearly there in 2020.
he did. He was there. He was there.
Nearly there.
But for our system, he was there.
Nearly
and
there.
I think what he did well in the 2020 elections was they tried to attack the image thing, and it worked. I mean, John Mahama rebranded fantastically. In 2016, when a story broke that he had a hotel
In Dubai.
They didn't. You see,
That was ridiculous, wasn't it?
They didn't take the internet trolls, the troll factory, serious.
Yeah.
By the time they took them serious, it was too late for the NDC. But now they take them serious. In fact, they don't give them any space. Merchant Bank was also another before the 2016 election.
It's almost a competition every day
I know, right?
on social media.
No, as for the NPPs, they are paid every morning. You have to trend hashtag. Yesterday was Gandhi's
NDC
birthday. Happy birthday, belated happy birthday to
the NDC
the Prime
doesn't
Minister
pay.
of Ghana. Pardon, what you
The
say?
NDC doesn't pay anyone to troll.
No, at all.
Or
From
is
what
it
I
that
know,
you don't know?
No, from what I know, they don't.
They don't.
I think what I
But
do
what
is
makes you
that-
think the NPP does?
Oh no, but they captured it. Have you forgotten? They've captured. They have a 4 million city budget for them. They pay them 700. We have 700. We said even check. They even have a 700 group. They are paid. But what I do know is that the people who do the hardest work actually don't even get the money.
Yeah.
The people who are getting the money aren't even going hard for Nana as they should. So yes, maybe the virtual comes from the fact that they are not even getting paid. So they want to go harder, more vile, so they can be noticed that I said this horrible thing to this woman. Nana, you haven't paid me. You know, but there's a whole budget for them because they don't look. They are not creating jobs for them. So stay on Twitter, insult Bridget Otoo, get your 700 Ghana.
That's not fair, Bridget.
But
To
it's
say
true,
that
but
they're
it's a
not
fact.
creating jobs for them. Nana
Oh,
has
they are
created
10,000
jobs.
4 years.
He's
Eh?
created a lot of jobs.
Yeah, 10,000 for them
No,
on
but
Twitter. Oh, it's true.
10,000 jobs for them on Twitter.
I'm
But apart
telling
from
you.
Twitter, well, I don't know if that's a job. Staying on Twitter is a job. I am constantly on Twitter.
But we
I
don't get paid for it.
for that. So I'm going to take what you just said with a pinch of salt. But he has created some jobs. He's created jobs, hasn't he?
Where?
Don't you read, Bridget? You're constantly reading.
Please.
You haven't
I
come
want-
across.
but
The
that's what I
trade
want to
minister
know.
has said it.
He
That
was-
they've
he said
created
2
jobs.
million,
The
then
finance minister
1
has
million
said it.
jobs. You see, I think what is sad about
No,
our
to be
system,
fair, in
no,
our
but Nana,
system-
what is sad about our system? If, like you said, the US said January we posted 1.2 million, they will tell you
Yeah,
this sector, this sector.
but that's not another
But
stuff.
here, but that's it. But ours, it's so controlled by government. The government is the biggest employer. That's why everybody wants to
Absolutely.
get into the government's under the government's umbrella, and so they are able to manipulate data. We're spending what? Oh, I think I read it from Bryce. More than half, right, on wages. We're just paying salaries.
Yes.
Of,
Our
for
wage bill
people
is huge.
Who don't even have jobs to do, but we have to keep paying them. But we have to keep paying them. So, I want to know where they've created the jobs. To be honest, I want somebody to educate me and tell me that. But in fact, they've lost jobs because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
COVID has been,
That's not the doing.
and
of
it
the
was,
president.
and I know
That's not the doing of the president. Yeah.
it's not the doing of the president.
No.
That's why when you get
can't.
money, what do? You spend it well. Till this day, they can't account for COVID-19 expenditure. Nothing. And that's why this CDA report is even out. And it's sad. In a pandemic, you won't take advantage of people.
How have they taken advantage of people? They
100
were actually there for the people.
$150.
Free water for the people. Free electricity for the
free-
people.
And
They-
January
th-
and
this can only
January
be done
2021.
by a man
who cares about you? Yes. So I give you free water, free electricity, and in January, hey, remember the free water and free electricity I gave you? How about you pay a tax
Is there
for it?
such thing as free in economics?
Exactly the point. So it wasn't free as you had.
But it helped them at the time.
But you had the information minister. But
Yeah,
things are tougher.
sharing is caring.
But Nana, how do you give? But okay,
We're
relax,
sharing
relax,
to reduce
relax.
the burden.
Is the tax for 3 months? If the tax is for 3 months, okay, so pay for the water for 3 months and remove the tax. No, this is just going. It's been added on, and people are going to pay, and they will continue paying. People are just suffering. It's so hard. Like people come to you, and sometimes you don't know what to say
So
to
you
them.
think President John Mahama should run?
Oh, he
in
should
2024?
absolutely.
With
He
Professor
should.
Nana J?
Fantastic. I mean, if he doesn't, then it will be a big blow to him.
Why?
Because he gingered a lot of women. I mean, she's a fantastic speaker. Her integrity is intact. She brought a lot of people who were neutrals. I mean, in the lead up to the 2020 elections, there were people who tweeted about Professor Jainano Poku, which shocked me. I was surprised because I don't want to mention their names,
Okay.
but there are
What did
people
they-
who are in the middle or neutrals, but they were going hard for her because it was her. So she added something to the ticket, and they should never ever lose sight of that and think that they will change it. I mean, if they change it, I won't even vote at all, to be very honest, because she really
If she
added on.
decides
And we need
She
women.
won't be interested.
That
Well, I
would be
don't
a
think
big
that will
blow.
happen,
But
but-
that would be a big blow. But I hope she does, because I've seen her. I
Yeah.
think recently she launched something about women in
Yes,
politics,
yes.
and so it means that she's trying to expand her influence. She's trying to get into
She's a
in touch with
fantastic
her.
woman, actually.
Yeah, I love her.
interviewed her.
Oh, she's
And I absolutely enjoyed that.
she's
interview.
brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
She's brilliant on platforms.
Brilliant
like
doesn't cut
when you
it.
put, I know when you put
It's
her on
more
a
than
panel,
that.
she stands out.
Yeah.
No, I love her. I
well,
think she's amazing.
She's a lecturer. She's a professor. She's a professor.
I love her. I love
She's
her.
not. She's not nobody's like us. She's well educated.
Right.
All right. Let me just remind you that the show is in association with Dove and Pepsodent. Dove believes that deodorants shouldn't just protect; they should care for your underarms too. After all, a lot of the best things that happen in life lead us throwing our arms in the air, which is why Dove deodorant is created. Importantly, this is something you should pay attention to all the time. When you go to your favorite supermarket and you're picking up deodorants, you must look out for the one that truly cares, and it is Dove. Created with quarter moisturizing cream to care for your underarm skin, leaving it soft and smooth. What I love about Dove deodorants is that you do not ever experience underarm sweating. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. Get Dove. Dove will cure you of that problem.
Dove.
Bridget is a mad woman. Pepsodent as well. That's my favorite oral care brand. I use it, and it's not. I'm not saying this because they're on the show. I use Pepsodent, and I love Pepsodent. And Pepsodent, as caring as they are, is campaigning for all of us to brush together at home, because it's exciting what you do with your family. The children are learning that this is how I stroke. I'm not aggressive. Yeah. So take action today, because good oral hygiene starts with you. Visit the dentist regularly, brush properly day and night, and invite your family to brush with you. That's right. Brushing is better together, and twice a day is the way to go. So invite your family to brush with you. I'm going to take a short commercial break. When I come back, I will speak to Bridget Otoo more about John Dramani Mahama, the NDC, feminism, because Bridget is a member of the Woke Society. She'll also talk about LGBTQ+, and the man in her life.
Star 103.5 FM. Simply the best.
Charlie, make you bring me one more mini. Crisp and refreshing. Cold to the last drop. Born for occasions. Club Mini means there's more celebration. Open the bottle, feel the surprise. Cold to the last drop. Club beer. Charlie, there's pride in your eyes. Club mini bottle, awesome refreshment inside. Cold to the last drop, right from the first gulp. Cheers to Club Mini. Club, crisp and refreshing. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons below 18 years of age. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Bringing you the true definition of contemporary radio. This is Star 103.
The day I fall in love. Allah.
Well, you've never fallen in love?
Oh no, I have. Hey.
You fallen in love before?
Yes.
With who?
God.
Oh, seriously, before we go on air, have you fallen in love before?
Yes. Oh yes. I'm currently in
But
love. With
you're
somebody.
currently in love?
Yes.
Who is it? You haven't told me about him.
Oh, Masa.
You're in love?
Oh, when we go on there?
Actually, we are on air.
No way.
Yes, we are.
Oh no, we are not.
Yes, we are on air.
Eh.
Yeah, we are.
Oh my God.
So who are you in love with?
Ah.
I mean, I'm surprised you're in love.
Let's talk about Nanado.
Are you in love with Nanado? He's taken. He's not available.
Fortunately, I don't do married men.
Ah, right.
And but if I
So
I
you've
wouldn't
never
even
been with a
consider-
married man?
No, I haven't.
Never. Bridget.
I don't know whether they don't like me. No, I'm serious, Nanaba. I don't know whether they don't like me or when they come around me, I'm able to turn their mind into business and I get to advise them on stuff.
You advise them to go back to their wives.
Yes. And then do business with their wives.
So you've never dated a married man?
I have never.
Right.
I mean, see, if a married man says he dated, they bring him. If I'll pay him gratitude.
What kind of men do you like?
I mean, look, it's not easy to go out with me. I am.
Oh, yeah, it's not easy to be your friend. Let's start from there. It is not easy to be your friend.
No, it's not.
You know, Bridget, let me tell you the truth. You know, at some point, I feel that I owed you the love, the care, and the responsibility to get you a psychologist. No, honestly. At some point, that's what I thought I'd do.
It's mad.
This girl is...
She's so
erratic.
I know.
Yeah.
No, relationships are complicated, and but truth is, I'm a lovey-dovey. I'm so soft when and you know, my partner
Not
would
just
say,
when you're in love. You're a very kind human being.
I'm a very emotional person, and so when I'm going out with somebody, I go all out. Like I'm completely into him.
So right now you are completely into this
him.
man.
Yes, this man. I'm completely 100% into him, and
Is he young?
No, he's about my age. We're same.
Bridget, you are young.
I'm young. Oh well. Okay, then we're mates. Let's put it like that. Yes. Oh, so I'm young.
Yes, you are young.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not 80.
No, so yeah, I'm completely into the person because I feel like it takes a lot to.
How does he feel at these punches you keep throwing at President Akufo-Addo and his appointees?
But I also receive some.
How does he feel about you throwing it? Okay, how does he feel about the receiving and throwing?
Okay, so he loves the fact that I love politics.
Is he a politician?
No.
Okay.
He's a civil servant.
Okay.
So he loves the fact that I love politics. I'm very opinionated. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, when we have an argument or where he's also an intellectual, like academician, let me put it, and so arguments go very long. But he appreciates what I'm trying to do. It's not easy. There are times that, you know, maybe I'm trending and people are insulting me and he doesn't take it well. Yeah. But I tell him that, look, it's...
But you don't care.
I don't care. So I don't care. Why are you worried?
Crying more than the bereaved.
Yeah. So I'm sure he'll get better with time. I mean, these things, they happen. So you shouldn't take it too hard. I don't take it hard. I mean, I say nameless and faceless individuals don't get to me. So as long as things remain same, we'll be fine.
One of the things that has been thrown at you consistently, anytime you share your opinion, your view on a raging issue, is that, Bridget, do then get married. I mean, I've seen that in pigeons so many times thrown at you. I mean, I get it too. Yeah. But I don't get it at the scale that you do.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, why? Do you feel that, and I mean, I ask all my female friends this, those who are unmarried and have opinions, strong opinions, they get it all the time. Right. Do you feel that's how society measure a successful woman? Because here you are,
100%,
running your business, doing well. Right. You've got your own home.
Right.
And you're building 2 more. I just had to drop that. The cement business is good. I'm going to start this weekend in Okpongulu.
So let's go on a commercial break.
No, not yet. So tell me, but people are judging your success based on a ring on your finger.
Yeah.
And even by extension, the number of kids you have.
So this is the beautiful thing about growing up. I always say this. Do you know, growing up, I didn't know, like, difference between what a boy is supposed to do and what a girl is supposed to do. Because that's not how my mother raised me. If you came looking for me, I'll probably be playing football with the guys. And my mom would be mad because she sent me and I didn't get to my destination. And that's how I grew up. And at a point, when I was done with GIJ, I just went to my mom and I said, why haven't you asked me why, when I'm getting married or children? She says, no, you look like you know what you're doing. And when her friends, if I have friends who would tell her, now because they keep saying, hey, $dollars. We would take dollars. And she would come and tell me that, my friends are saying you should get married. But she doesn't want that. Whatever I want to do. Right. So the person whose opinion matters to me when it comes to relationship and children is my mother. She's not bothered. She's not worried. I am not bothered. So why should I care about the opinion of somebody else? The most important question you should ask is, am I happy? Am I happy?
Are you?
Abba. I'm extremely happy.
Why are you tearing up? That's how happy
Because
you
I
are.
feel because there are things I have done I can't believe that I've done it before the age that I am. There were things that I thought maybe it would come a bit later. I have it now. So I'm thinking those are the things that are important to me and dear to me. And if I have those and I sleep peacefully, I mean, what else? Marriage, children, they're a bonus. We shouldn't make, it's not something that I've set out to say, oh, I will have children. I mean, you can carry your children. You can use surrogate mother. You can use IVF. There are so many ways to have children. You can adopt. But I'll raise great children too.
But I will tell you for a
It's
fact
the
that
first-
Bridget is afraid of children.
Oh my God!
She is afraid. Why?
never.
Where does that come from?
Ow! they are precious.
I mean,
I feel like I'll break them. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, not children. I mean, not to say, because she's always got her nieces and nephews
Yeah,
around
I'm
her.
just
But
afraid
I'm
of
talking
babies.
about babies.
Yeah, I'm afraid
Yeah.
of babies. It's
Yeah.
true. I am. I feel they are so precious, and
You feel you'll drop them.
or kill them.
Carelessly.
I'm afraid. No, I'm a godmother to Aisha's daughter, and I couldn't handle when they gave the baby to me. I was shaking and crying, and they had to take the baby away because I just couldn't. So maybe when I have my own, it would change.
Right.
But for now, I'm just so afraid of babies. I mean, recently another friend had a baby. I went to the hospital and I said, please, I'd rather stay here. Keep
Right.
your child. I'm happy. I want you to. So yes. So marriage, kids, it would happen when it wants to happen. I don't go to sleep thinking, hey, it's
It's never come up in your conversations with your
it has.
boyfriend.
I've had 2 marriage proposals.
And you decline.
Yes.
Why?
One, I mean, the guy hates me to this day. Why? One, the guy, you didn't know me, and I was not looking at marriage with you. I was just,
Having fun.
yes.
What is your idea of fun?
I can't say something. I stay home a lot. I don't go out. So
Yeah.
my idea of fun is just being at home.
Doing what exactly?
Nothing, just being
Eating. I mean, you are a glutton.
Yeah, I cook. I love cooking.
You
as
love
well.
cooking, not
Yes.
just cooking.
I
There are
love
some who
eating,
love
it's
to
true.
cook and
do you
don't eat.
know I ate jollof at 3 a.m. today?
I'm
with
not
fish.
surprised. I'm not
Yes.
surprised.
I
And
was
I'm
in bed
sure
eating jollof at
at
3
9
a.m.
a.m. you had banku.
Gankenke.
Right. I know your eating pattern.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So your idea of fun is staying at home,
being at home,
with
watching
with
tennis,
your man,
yes,
cooking, eating,
and having
watching,
enjoying each other's company. Yes,
Right.
you're right. Yes,
You don't go out.
I don't go out a lot. But
Why?
Because I would sleep.
Yeah. I was
I fell
coming to
asleep
that.
at the club. I mean, I sleep at the club.
And the one thing you don't want to ever do is to go out with Bridget Otoo and even offer her a sip of alcohol.
or Coca-Cola would rather get me hyper.
I know Coca-Cola
Right.
does as well, but alcohol does
Make me
worse. Does worse
That
to
will make
bring.
me sleep.
Not just sleep. You are embarrassingly sad.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That was one time. But you see, but I don't drink alcohol in front of people. It has to be people I trust.
Right.
So I've only gotten drunk in front of one person. In fact, 2 people. Yes.
Should I post your video?
No. But I'm saying yes. But that's one group of people, like one group. Yeah.
That
And a
video.
second.
How did you feel watching that video?
I couldn't believe that was me. I couldn't. But I also thought I looked sexy. I was like, oh, is that how I look when I'm drunk?
Right.
No.
Would you mind becoming a second wife?
Oh, I wouldn't be a second wife. I would not. Of course, I mind, Papa. I wouldn't be
Why?
anybody's second wife. Why would I want to be a second wife? I'm just not interested.
Okay.
I mean, it's either I am the wife or I'm not.
Yeah.
Not second. But I wouldn't mind marrying a widow.
Widower.
Widow.
Widower. You wouldn't mind.
No.
Well, the
Because
person is
then
not
you're
married.
second- Yes,
The
so he's
person is
not married. So
He-
he's single.
He's single.
But yes, but I'm just trying because you mentioned second wife. So
Right.
you technically you're a second wife, but the first one is no more.
Okay.
Right.
I get it.
Uh-huh.
And if he comes with a baggage?
baggage, where baggage means kids. No, kids
Oh
are
no,
not
kids
baggage.
can
I love
be
kids.
baggage. They can be
Baggage
baggage.
mean
I mean, forever and ever, at every point in time, they're thinking about their wife who's gone. Memories are there, so they
Oh.
get into moods.
no, but you should.
Those are baggages. Kids, children are not baggage.
People
Yeah.
grieve differently. I mean, I hope that I can make the person so happy they wouldn't have to think about their dead wife. I mean, they should always keep a memory of them because I mean, memories are good.
All right.
They
So
can't
you
share
were
them.
you were one of the people who went all out vehemently advocating for the LGBTQ plus community. Where did that come from?
First of all, I'm a human being. I have a conscience.
The people who are against it are not human beings.
Oh,
they
they are.
don't have a
They are.
conscience.
Nobody is asking for legalization of homosexuality. I mean, that has to be made clear. I think it got lost in the whole conversation.
Right.
I think what they were asking for was decriminalization. What it meant was that those videos you saw of somebody suspected, in quotes, suspected to be gay, and they'll beat them up, put them down, open their anus, put a camera there and film. Dehumanization of them would stop. That's it. And I thought any reasonable person should be able to say, yeah, that should stop. I couldn't watch when I was so heartbroken when I saw that. If indeed the person is gay, is that how to treat the person? So yes, I came out and said, look, I mean, they're just saying decriminalize. I'm not asking for legalization. And whatever is happening in somebody's bedroom is not my business. I'm a Catholic. I was raised a Catholic. I see a lot of horrible things happen in the Catholic Church. We've seen them. They've been paying compensation for decades till this day because of abuse of young boys by priests and others. That kind of crime is no less. This is two consensual adults. But we're a nation that loves God. A nation that was introduced to Christianity, but we are teaching the white people salvation. So yes, that kind of religious fanatism gets in the way of common sense. How does saying that, I just don't want you to put this man down and beat him because you think he's gay? How is that a terrible thing? Because you think he's gay. And what the strategy and tactic they use is this. They will start calling you one. You are gay, you're a lesbian. So that you would stop. But not Bridget Otoo. Because
Bridget's full name is Bridget Mame Ajwa Nyamina Onyimasem Otoo.
Yeah.
We'll come to your
That's
name
true.
soon, but continue.
Right. So that's it. So my support for them is say, yes, don't drag them on the floor because you suspect. Because what happened was that now you embolden people to just go around. Anybody who is walking, acting, feminine, kind of.
Yeah.
It's
because
attacked.
there are men who are effeminate.
Right. I
Really.
get you. Yes.
Yeah.
They are attacked because of that. And I thought that was wrong. And I still think it's wrong.
Absolutely. Because there are people who showed that as well, that side.
When
Like
we
they
were
are
growing
effeminate,
up,
but
yes.
it doesn't mean,
Right.
like we call them kojobesia.
So yes,
doesn't mean they're
I was
gay.
going to say, when we
Yeah.
were growing up in Second Maxwell Road, one of my best friends, he still is, but he's in the US now. He's married. When we were growing up, we used to call him Kojo Besia because he acted like a girl. But what I lost sight of was the fact that he was in the midst of girls. So he acted like one of us.
Right.
He's not gay. He's married and living with his wife in the US. So imagine such a person with that kind of qualities walking around and you hit his head because he's
But
acting
what
like
did you
that.
make of the comments from some parliamentarians, some government appointees?
I thought some of them
the
were
gender
horrific.
minister.
I don't remember the exact thing the gender minister said. I think I remember what Haruna said. I remember what Sam George was on. As for Sam George, I think there's even a bill, right? There's even journalists against something. There's a journalist against something, homosexuality or something like that. There's a group like that. I mean, how crude is that? Nobody's saying legalize. I mean, take it out of the conversation because it will take God for that to happen. But decriminalize so that somebody sees you acting like that. They don't know for a fact. They're suspecting. But even that, why are you so bothered by that? Have compassion, empathy. Empathy simply means put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
When the president spoke to those bishops, you saw that tape.
I think he said not under his presidency that this would happen. Of course, the president's point was on legalization.
Exactly.
Which is where the conversation went. But that wasn't what they were asking for. They said decriminalize. But that's what happened. You see, when opinions are everywhere, the actual conversation gets lost. And it's muddied and becomes something else. Then later they say, oh, water under bridge. But you've said all kinds of hurtful things. I think somebody even said, goats don't even do acts like that. Something. Oh, I'm a human being first. And I would treat another person as a human being. Regardless of whoever you think they are. That's who they are. It's not my issue. They're not harming me. They're not... who are they? Who are they harming, first of all? It's the same question we asked when Nekwe Polo was sentenced. Who did she harm?
The sensibilities of people.
Yes.
So you're asking for the LGBTQ, you're asking for you're all other people.
But that's the beauty about having a voice and a platform. At least if I leave this world, I hope I would leave, and I would leave happy, knowing very well that at least I used my platform to speak on issues that mattered. And someday we'll come back to this conversation. It's not over. It's there. How did they set up the office and everything? You think conversations went on before that happened? But I think people were surprised. It was like an attack, a shock on them. But it's something that was there. And it's a lot of people we speak to say, I've had my friends say, oh, I know them, they are around. I just don't want them to be recognized. So in other words, they are saying that they know there are gays and lesbians around, but they don't want to be recognized, which is fine. But they are not asking for recognition. They're saying decriminalize, so you don't kill them.
Why did you quit the media?
So before, I think October 2016, I had told the producer of New Day that I wasn't going to be at TV3 in 2017. I was tired. I felt there was nothing else to do. I mean, Nana, I admire you so much because it's not easy to do this continuously. 4 years and I was tired, so tired. So I was fatigued. My brain was no longer working. So I made a decision that I was going to leave the next year. As to whether I was going to leave in January, February, I wasn't so sure. But I took my leave after the 2016 elections. And when I took my leave, because it's Christmas, you get extra days because there are lots of holidays. And so my leave ended on the 4th of January, which was my mother's birthday. So I came in, I just decided, look, I'm going to resign. So I just put in my letter and said, goodbye. I'm done, yes. Right. And they called and said, oh, no, you can't quit, blah, blah, blah. In fact, they got into my mind a bit, because I began to doubt my decision. And so I promised that I was going to write another letter to rescind my original decision. But when I left the meeting, I thought, nah, that's exactly what I want to do. At least let me go out there. I remember the CEO then, Jim Matthews, say, and these were his exact words, that I'll go eat, get fat, and die. And I looked at him and said, at least I'll die happy.
He said to you that you go eat, get fat.
I mean, he joked. I didn't take it.
It was a joke,
but he did.
Sure.
Yes.
He said it in jest.
But yes, in jest. And I responded to him and said, at least I'll die happy. And then I left. So when I left, I think my second letter, I gave it to George at TV3. And I wrote the letter. So the first one, the resignation was supposed to take effect on the 4th of February because you have to give them a month. If not, you lose your salary. So I left the meeting. I wrote another. I said, with immediate effect, so that I lose my salary. And then I went home. I put my phone off, and I never came back.
How did you end up in a cement shop?
Yeah. I'd lived in town for so long, Jolu, around East Airport. And now I was no longer in the media. No activity wasn't coming. I didn't have to get up early. And I had a building which wasn't completed at the time. So I made a decision to move. By the time I was going to do the Mandela Washington Fellowship, so I traveled. But whilst I was away, I sold my car, one of my cars, so they could do the roofing of my house. And then when I came back to Ghana, I would move in. So yeah, I moved, and the area is developing. So my best friend Susie was selling cement, and so I asked her, what can I do in the area, because I wanted to stay there. Right. But it was such that when I came back to Ghana and I moved there, I was always in town. I was always with my sister Lucy. Yeah. And I would never stay home. I would just come to town. I had equipment I was renting, so we would put the equipment in town and then be renting them. I thought, nah, I need to stay there. Something has to keep me there. So Susie kept advising me on what I could do, you know, building materials. So first was cement, there's towels, a whole lot. So that's how we started the cement. And yeah, so I would visit sites, you know, tell them, look, we have a cement shop
And
here.
how's that going now?
Amazing, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah.
That much I know.
I mean, we were not selling anything. The first 4 weeks, nobody bought a bag.
Well, now
we
you're
sold thousands.
you're always running out of
Yep.
cement, right?
I'm currently...
So which is your
it's my
favorite,
distributor.
Gassam or Dangote?
Oh, Dangote is the people's cement. Gassam is the nation's cement. But my favorite is Simaf, black. Yeah.
Okay, I
So-
need to send an invoice to them.
No, it's true. The people's cement is Gassam. Like, everybody knows Gassam.
The people cement. You said
Sorry,
is-
it's Dangote, sorry.
Okay,
But the
and then
nation's cement is Gassam.
Gassam.
Yeah, but then
Right.
my favorite is Simaf.
So which one moves?
They all do. I mean, but if you sell Gassam, you never run at a loss.
Okay.
If you sell Dangote, you never run at a loss because people love it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. You price it anyhow, they'll buy
Okay.
because they think it's quality. And Ghanaians, you have a way of messing with people's minds. If you tell them quality, they'll pay for it.
So you deceive them.
No, not me.
Okay.
It's the brand. But it's
Oh,
good
that-
quality.
okay.
I mean, they are willing to pay more. If somebody came in and you said Dangote is 50 cedis and you told them Gassam is 45, they'll probably take the down because they think, oh, must be super. You know, but Gassam has a cement called Super Strong.
Right.
Because it's super strong, people just clamor for that.
Yeah, it's all in the name.
It's all in the name.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. So,
All right.
So yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I love it, and we're going to add more to the cement.
Before I take a break,
Right.
Akosia Amu
yeah.
our friend.
Yes.
wants to know if you date a divorcee.
A divorcee. I need to know why they divorced. I mean, it's very important. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the time it's the guy's fault. So
Really?
I'm so biased.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk about Bridget sometimes.
But I'm already dating. So what's this divorcee? Of course, you don't do that. Are you trying to break
it
my
was a
relationship?
question. No, it was a question.
Good.
A genuine question.
Great.
Do you feel sometimes you come across as a misandrist? You hate men. I mean,
No, I
yes, you're
love men.
dating.
No, but I love men. How can I hate men?
Okay, we'll be back to talk more about it.
Extraordinary radio for discerning listeners. Star 103.5 FM.
Charlie, make you bring me one more mini. Crisp and refreshing. Cold to the last drop. Born for occasions. Club Mini means there's more celebration. Open the bottle, feel the surprise. Cold to the last drop. Club beer. Charlie, there's pride in your eyes. Club mini bottle, awesome refreshment inside. Cold to the last drop, right from the first gulp. Cheers to Club Mini. Club. Crisp and refreshing. Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons below 18 years of age. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Star 103.5 FM. Simply the best.
Right, so the show is in association with Dove and Pepsodent. Also to remind you that if you're wondering what to get your mother, wife, sister, or boss this Mother's Day, relax because GH Perfumes Mall has got the perfect gift set for you. Marine luxury perfumes. Yes, marine luxury perfumes are here for you. Fragrances from the sweet, delicious smell of roses, vanilla to the spicy scent of sweet oud, patchouli, and leather. That stays on you for days. Actually, I tried one yesterday and it's out of this world. A selection of high-quality, luxurious scents to help you celebrate your first lady and make your mother or loved one feel unique. So whether you are thinking flowers, chocolates, dates, or a fancy trip, we definitely have something to top it up. This is a luxury in a bottle. Walk to the GA Perfumes Mall for your marine luxury perfumes for that special person. Locate the GH Perfumes Mall at East Legon opposite the American House. For more details, you can contact them on 0278 156 111 or 0559 740 739. Nationwide delivery available within 24 hours. And they have something that I absolutely love. Bridget, I need to get you one. Not to accuse of anything, but they have the hair mist. So, you know, Bridget, I'm talking to you. Get off your phone.
All right.
You know how ladies walk around
Right.
with their weaves and braids and for days or weeks, and sometimes it gives us not a fancy smell.
Right, I get it.
So they've got hair mist as well.
Right.
You wake up in the morning, take a shower. And
I love hair mist.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll get you
Which one?
from GH Perfumes Mall.
Oh, lovely.
Right.
I
so,
like that.
So you were not even here when I was doing the LPM. You were far away.
No,
Was
I was
your
listening
boyfriend
to your
sending you
voice.
messages?
I was texting, we were chatting, yes.
Oh,
He said it's not easy to date me.
It is true. I'm telling him for a fact. It's not even easy to be her friend. Just a mere friend. It's even impossible. It's tough. It's a tough one. But just to remind you that the show is also on Ultimate in Kumasi and Empire in Takoradi. And if you have clients, if you have an audience that you want to reach in Kumasi or Takoradi, your best bet, advertise on Empire in Takoradi and Ultimate FM in Kumasi. I thought I had mixed it up. Yeah, but Ultimate FM is in Kumasi. Which secondary school did you attend?
Oh, Bompet Secondary Technical School.
Do you remember
And,
your anthem?
Oh, God. I mean, if you start it, I might just finish it for
But
you.
how
No.
am I supposed to
So,
know?
I mean, look, you don't have to blame me because...
You were
I mean,
called
this
the
is a school-
headmistress.
And the headmistress never spoke to me till she died.
Why?
Because I was called the headmistress one, too. I also spoke for students. I mean, it was the first time
So
that...
it's always been you.
It's always been like that. I remember...
They didn't sack you. They should have
No.
given you the sack.
No,
You never went on suspension.
I made a lot of teachers cry. I kid you not. It's true.
What were you doing to them?
No. So what happened was, it was a school. You know, students were supposed to listen to our teachers. They always, shouting, and they never got feedback until they elected me as their senior girls prefect, and things changed. Now they would listen to us. So we wrote. It was a school, Bompet Secondary Technical School. We're not doing so well in SHS.
What course did you read?
General arts. I fear math.
Right.
So yeah.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say visual arts.
I'm bad at drawing too.
I know,
And others,
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, and we wanted to get better, but the blame was always on students. So when I became girls prefect, we had a meeting and we wrote everything we thought was wrong with the school and needed to be fixed, and the teachers were like a major part. When we submitted it to the headmistress, this woman got mad and called us into a meeting with the teachers to terrorize us. Now, before they came in, the boys prefect, I'm so sorry. This boy gets up before the teachers walked in, because we had to go because we had student representative, and said, they're coming to harass us. They're coming to, nobody should cave. We should stand firm. Guess who was the first person to cave? You know what he said? No. So then when they came in, the teacher sat, the headmistress was the first to speak, and said, the tone of the letter, like they have never seen such insolence in The boy got up and said, foolishness is found around the heart of a child and only the road of God. I was so furious. I said, Thomas, sit down. Then I got up. I'll mention this teacher. I said, you come in class with your legs crossed. Use 2 hours to teach a topic and you expect a student to pass. I mean, I went wrong giving each teacher. I said, you collect school fees and you don't. You insult our parents. The meeting ended, and I think my assistant also gathered vim and said a few things. And that ended the meeting. That's why she never spoke to me. So she died.
But you were a brilliant
changed.
student.
I was. But it changed. I was brilliant, but insolent, put it like that. I mean, they used to say that. I thought it was a compliment to say I'm insolent, to be honest.
You used to? You are still insolent. I mean,
I think people are not used to people who are blunt. It can be very uncomfortable to hear truth coming out of somebody, direct. And I get it. People would rather you're diplomatic about it, make it round a bit.
well, why can't you do that?
I'm learning, but I realize that it doesn't work all the time. It doesn't work with me, maybe. But people would also need to accept that. some people are just wired differently.
Yeah.
And accept that. I mean, that's it. Because when I was growing up, I actually thought being disobedient or disrespectful was like a compliment. Because that's all I saw in my report card. It's true. Because it's always the reports, brilliant to disobedient, brilliant to... So I thought, I didn't even look it up. Because from primary, brilliant, disobedient, brilliant, stubborn, brilliant. So I thought, oh, wow, must be. So when I went to secondary school and first year we did, I think I was probably 3rd or 2nd in class. And this social teacher comes, Mrs. Sylvie, I'm so sorry, I hope you're well. She comes to class and says, yes, Bridget, you're brilliant, but you're insolent. Do you know what I told her? I was like, I've actually heard this before,
Right.
I just really like the fact that the teachers always sort of set you up to embarrass you. So I was against that. I spoke for students who couldn't speak for themselves. You couldn't come to class and just drive somebody away. Teachers were calling us. There was this teacher who was calling students, Papa Yewi, you are a thief.
Oh.
They used to say that in class. But when we did that, they wouldn't. I mean, if I'm in class, you won't say that to somebody's child. But because I am a kid, how I would express it will come across as rude and instant because I really didn't know how to express it.
Right.
But what I did know was that it was wrong for a teacher to tell me that my parents were thieves when they didn't know them.
Right.
Just because I owed school fees or just because I performed badly in class. So yes, maybe I could have had coaching in the way, but it worked at the time. And here we are.
Right, here we are. Just a few comments. I'll pick about 3 or 4.
Right.
Nana Ya Ejewa Kodia says, I love Bridget Otoo so much. She only needs to learn some dancing skills. She's a horrible dancer.
Oh, I'm
I
so
can assure
sorry.
you. Nana, but I don't like the way Bridget Otoo disrespects the president at the least
Yeah.
opportunity she gets. Why do you disrespect?
Disrespect?
Yeah.
Can somebody actually mention one thing I've said that's disrespectful to the president? I actually know one thing.
You and who?
You and who?
You and who?
Can you imagine? That day, I found that only 10 people were brilliant in this country. Honestly. President tweeted that we, right, have been something removed from the shackles of colonialism and whatnot. And I responded and said, you and who? And people said it was disrespectful. But when the president said we, he wasn't talking about himself. We, he meant Ghanaians. But the comedian in me saw it as an opportunity to take a dig at him.
So you were
It
joking.
was fun. Oh, it's funny. But it was funny. You know, do you know when I tweeted that for 3 hours I was laughing? I laughed so hard. I was like, wow, that's so
and you
funny.
were back in the trance.
No, but he wasn't talking about himself.
Of course.
But a lot of people didn't get it. He meant we as Ghanaians.
Yeah, because
How is that disrespectful?
because
if you don't get my
you're-
jokes, it's not for you. Move on.
because you are noted to throw jabs at the man all the time, and so people have learned to
we
take
are
it seriously.
But they should take me serious. But in any case, you know what is funny about the whole thing? But why were people offended? What was the president's role in our independence anyway? I just want to know. Because why were they offended? I mean, it was a funny thing. It's a funny comment. Laugh and move on. But if you're not offended,
But they
you are
didn't
laughing.
find it funny.
But if yes, you're it's not funny. So in other words, they were offended that I actually pointed that something that was factual about the president, that he didn't play any role in our independence. Is that the offense? So you see, that's exactly what I'm driving at. We're so used to kids being afraid to voice out, being expressive or retorting. We're used to apologizing. And so when we see somebody who is not like us, yes, I'm an outsider, outlier, whatever. That's fine. I'm not going to make apologies for that. But it's not disrespectful to question things. Question. People who ask questions. We wouldn't have Dr. Ewan.
Bridget, you just had to go there.
Well, you mentioned we because we got people who shouldn't even be talking about it. Talk about it that I'm being disrespectful towards the
Who are you referring to?
Oh.
D Black?
He's
Because
fine. He's a funny guy, actually. He's a funny guy.
Your tweet at him was unkind.
Which tweet? Which one?
About the same issue, Dr. Ewan.
But he said I wasn't raised well, right? He implied that. And I'm surprised somebody like him would even pass such a comment.
Why? Why?
Raised
What do you
well.
mean somebody like him?
Let's-
Why? He's been raised well.
Yes, to make sex tape and leak it. Okay.
Did he?
Okay.
Did he?
At
Why
least
we don't know
At
he-
least my mother raised me to not make sex tape. My mother raised me.
I don't think he leaked that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he did
So-
that. That
so
is
I was-
unfair to D
How?
Black.
No,
I mean,
but so
he hasn't leaked any tape.
But you know it. Oh, you
No.
didn't see the sushi tape.
No, never.
Oh, I saw the sushi. I saw the sushi sex tape.
I've never seen it. And I don't think D Black will leak a tape like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's too responsible. D Black is a responsible guy. I know
Hey.
him. He's a decent guy. He's a decent guy.
Okay.
D Black is a
You see,
decent guy.
that's because and yeah, it's only in this country that we would bash decent women.
But you're a decent woman.
Oh, of course, 100%.
Who has bashed you? No one has bashed you.
Oh.
But if the man is decent,
Every
you've
time,
got
no,
to
but
say-
every time something happens, it's always things about her. You know.
yeah, that's true. I
You're
mean,
not
that's
married. You don't
unfortunate.
have a kid, and he said those things.
He
You know?
said that to you?
Oh, he said, when I have a child, then I would know what it feels like. But has he been pregnant before? What does it mean when I have a child? I'll know.
Oh, he hasn't. Of course he hasn't.
No, but seriously, how do you?
D Black, you've never been pregnant before. Yeah. But D Black, don't mind Bridget. It's
I
all
love
in
him.
jest.
No, he takes.
He's a super.
He
he's a
took-
super entertainer.
No, but that's why I was surprised he passed that comment. Because do you know what I did initially? Initially, I went to his DM and explained the thing to him, and I thought he got it. Then he came on. I realized he came on the timeline was just going on and on about.
Can you just see these things and pretend?
Oh yes, I do.
Can you just ignore?
Oh, I actually ignore a lot of them. So mostly when I come online, maybe I've eaten and I'm full.
What's
I'm
the
trying to-
wildest thing you've heard? I mean, people like to vituperate a lot in this
About
country.
me?
Yeah. What's the wildest thing you've heard about yourself that made you wonder? Did I really do this?
The wildest thing I've heard of.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
I
Here
don't
you
know.
go with your mystery question, but we're going
I'm
to
a
play.
mystery question. Let's see. Hi.
And now, the mystery question.
Wow.
So read it and answer it.
Who are your two favorite lawmakers and why? Who? Wow. I can't believe that this man's name is the first in my head.
Haruna.
No. Penyo Marking.
But why can't you believe it?
It's no, he's I think he's a good sport. I mean, he gets what I'm doing. He respects it. He's probably the only one who, I mean, sometimes, he would see the trend and stuff, and he would hit me and say, hey, madam, or something, he gets it. It might not be favorable for the government, but he respects it.
Okay. And the second person?
Second person.
A woman?
A woman, yes, Ursula.
Yeah. I love Ursula
Ursula
too.
because,
She's a doer.
yeah, I don't know about that, but what
She
I
is a
do
doer.
know
Yeah.
is that she's got grits. She's
Yeah.
resilient.
Yeah.
She gets a lot of flags, and we do too.
Yeah.
And somehow she thrives in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
And those are things I admire in people. So yes, she's my second.
Yeah. Okay. So before we wrap up, just to let you know that one of the things that Bridget easily does is to cry.
Oh, Minister.
Yeah, she cries easily. Do you speak Ghana?
No.
At
I'm
all?
learning because of where I am. I have to learn. But I do understand now. If you say anything,
Oyeni.
Oyeni.
When Oyeni.
Men Oyeni. Hey. Ohoye. No. Oh, you are doing something.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Ingboje.
Ingboje. Okay.
No, where are you from?
But at least I heard Ingboje.
Okay, Ingboje is where are you from? Where are you going? Yeah. So what is your favorite Ghana word?
Not on this word. I can't say it on air.
On that note, I have to say a big thank you to Bridget. Bridget, Mame Ajwa Nyamino Onyimasem Otu. Why Mame no Onyimasem?
Nyamino Onyimasem.
Onyimasem. Why?
So my dad thought I wasn't his daughter. So God knows, yes, because all his kids were dark. When I was born, I had curly hair, light skin, and he thought, Nyankopon kwano nim nasem. So he named me that.
So did he find out later that you are?
Oh no, I'm his daughter. Yes.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, so sometimes when I send him stuff, when my mother would tell him, "You say she's not your daughter. She sends you money." So it's a joke. But
Right.
that was originally. But I actually look like his sister and my grandmother.
Right.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Bridget.
Thank you,
Thank you
Nanaba.
for appearing. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy yourself?
I loved it. I love it.
Okay, so thank you so much for tuning into Star 103.5 FM. K-Bona is next with Drop Off Zone. The drop off. The zone to the drop off. And have a beautiful night. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Remember, Star 103.5 FM, simply the best.